My name is Elisa Dominelli, and I'm the owner of Central City Comics. I was probably about the age of 4 or 5, and my mom had a comic around, and that's how it sort of started. That I could remember, I think my first one that I purchased myself was Black Dragon #1. It was a fantasy comic book, but what was really cool about it, John Bolton did the art, and it was just an amazing artist, painted, and that sort of sucked me in. Guys, I find that they always test you of your knowledge. Does she really read comics? Is she informative enough? I was constantly getting tested, and not only that, I was constantly getting picked up too. You know, it's very unusual for women to be in comics. It's better now. I think having a clean environment for women to come in, and having a lot of independent comics other than superhero has brought a lot of women in, and having women in your store is going to bring women in. But yeah, it's definitely an old boys club, and some boys are very socially awkward with women, so I try to sort of calmly help them out, and just let them know that I'm there for them, and if they need my help, I'm here. This month is our 5th year.
5th year?
We've been running Central City Comics. Quite proud of that. It's not an easy industry to get into and to survive. I opened when we had a recession in 2008, and we survived those early years. So this is my rack. So basically, these are all the new releases in the past 3 months. I try to keep 3 months on the rack, and then what I kill from here, I use the word kill, will end up in back issues, will end up in packs, dollar box, depending on what I want to do with it. You know about the dollar box because Savage Dragon #1 accidentally got into the dollar box, which shouldn't have gotten in there. And so I was just going to show you some of the bigger titles right now. Age of Ultron, going back to the 90s. Nice chromium cover. It's a 10-part maxi series that Marvel's putting out, to get more of our money, really. It's good, actually. It's basically an alternative to what's really going on with the continuity, so it's outside of the continuity, which, if you're a new reader and you're not sure where to go, it's a good book to start off with. Some of my favorites I was talking about were Animal Man and Aquaman. Animal Man it came out this week actually has a gatefold. So all those gimmicky comic book covers are making its comeback. Good or bad, I don't know yet. People seem to really like it. Big thing right now has been Batman, because there has been, should I do a spoiler? There's been a character that died.
So what's your name?
Daniel.
How long have you been reading comics?
Started pretty recently. I got into it after I found out that they rebooted all the DC comics, and Batman's always been my hero. Right now I'm trying to go back into the backstory of Batman. So this is one written by Kevin Smith. So I was interested in that. This one's a Hush, another staple, and then of course Frank Miller's Year One, which tells this is Wonder Woman. This is for my girlfriend.
There's Batman and Robin. And by the way, this isn't how you pick up comics on a rack. You don't bend them forward because you'll damage the comics. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I don't know if you can get into that. This drives me crazy because I can't sell a comic after it's been destroyed like that. So on my rack, you have to sort of pick up, bring down. Very simple. I try to make it as simple as possible. mean, I started getting really heavily into comics in the 80s when I was a kid. And there wasn't very many creators. Frank Miller, Alan Moore, basically, in the 80s made comics sort of respectable because it was sort of kind of an subculture underground comics. Like, you sort of hid the fact that you actually read comics. So that allowed people to say, yeah, this is an intelligent literary work. And I mean, even schools, colleges they have courses on comics now. Golden Age was a huge influence. And I give credit to the owner, Pat Shaughnessy, for, sort of being my mentor and helping me, get to this point. So I think maybe structurally, I think is very Golden Age on a smaller scale, because that's where I was taught. It's a very good store, and it's got a lot of positives, and I took I took what I liked, and then I created stuff that, I wanted to do, and voila, Central City was born.
My name is Tanya. Was it 94 or 95?
What?
94.
What?
When I met you.
Yeah.
I first met Elisa in 1994. Yeah, actually we both worked at the same comic book store. I had come back from school and returned, and met Elisa working there. Actually, my title at the store was actually number 1. I was the general manager, as well as I looked after the sports section, sports cards. Comics interest me. I enjoy the medium. I'll pick up and read some titles, but it's not my main love or main interest. Yeah.